What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the first Laugh and Learn with Vern audiobook. 10 scientifically proven ways that Steve Jobs went against the grain, a comedy book. Thank you so much for being here. This is your host and now author, Eric Vernston. I am so excited to share this with you. My first book is going to be an ebook. This is part of the James Altucher 30-day ebook challenge. Of course, I did this in about 60 to 65 days. We'll talk about that later. It's completed, and that's what matters. The book comes out on February 24th, 2021, which is Steve Jobs' birthday. Also happens to be my birthday. Funny how that works. Let me show you the artwork right now. For those of you on a computer, that's just kind of how this goes. We'll do the share screen. Boom. There it is. Eric Vernston, a comedy book. 10 scientifically proven ways Steve Jobs went against the grain. This is part of a bigger reveal. For now, the podcast is called Laugh and Learn with Vern, but I have some big news. I'm also starting a newsletter. It's going to be called Vern Goes Against the Grain. And I believe the podcast will be soon renamed Vern Goes Against the Grain. So then I can say Vern Goes Against the Grain with blank. The idea is I want people to get out of their comfort zones. I find so much pleasure and fun by just doing something different. I like to try something new, and I think it keeps you alive. It can keep you young. It'll keep you healthy. That's what we're going for here. And we're going to try to have some fun. This book is a comedy book. Some of you are probably wondering what that means. Well, let me tell you some of the blurbs on the back to give you a better idea. Eric gives fun, actionable advice using an iconic figure and great jokes. I cannot recommend enough. That was by Vern. I'm winking. 47 book searches ago, I stumbled upon this read. A country divided cannot stand. If we all read this book, maybe we can come together and enjoy the great laughs inside. That was from my dog, Jack. Thank you, Jack. Self-improvement mixed with humor is a surefire route to success. Vern has done it again. Steve Jobs himself would be proud. Most likely of Apple's continued success, but maybe this book too. It's from an anonymous patriot. This book is a comedy book. I'm sure you're like, okay, Vern, what's a comedy book? Just like jokes or like, what's your deal? Bigger picture, I have some huge ideas for where I want to take this space. For now, what I want to do is we're going to start at page 1. So I am screen sharing 10 scientifically proven ways that Steve Jobs went against the grain, a comedy book. What that means is, and I gave instructions in the prologue, the footnotes are part of the action. The footnotes are the ideas, stories, and jokes that popped in my head as I was writing. And if they made me giggle, got me fired up, they stayed in. The idea is you have a personal stand-up comedian that joins in during the most opportune times. I hope you enjoy. And I really, really do. When you read the book, read the sentence, and if there's a footnote, go read the footnote. It corresponds right to that or something along those lines where the joke, there's a works cited page at the end. It's very middle school-y, but that's just kind of how I thought to do it. Again, this is supposed to be a 30-day book challenge. It turned into a 60-day blessing, right? Because we're positive and optimistic. I want to read chapter 1 to you today. Later on in the week, I will read another chapter. I want to give you an idea of what this will sound like and look like. The ebook will be available on Kindle. There'll also be a paperback. I'm also going to publish on Barnes and Noble, so it'll be available on Nook. Additionally, and I'm trying this out on my own, I don't know if anyone else has done this, the audiobook will be exclusively available on the Learn with Vern podcast. Excuse me, Laugh and Learn with Vern. I'm already thinking about the potential new title. The audiobook will be on Laugh and Learn with Vern. Again, probably doing some rebranding there, but for now, still, you know how to search for it, Laugh and Learn with Vern. With that note, let's get started. 10 scientifically proven ways that Steve Jobs went against the grain. Number one, Jobs had the worst bachelor party in modern history. The Greeks and Romans knew how to party. They literally had a god, Dionysus, of winemaking and fertility. Shout out to the Romans. They definitely knew how to party. They were doing some kind of stuff that we're not going to get into that's super illegal and super awful. But other than that, they knew how to have fun. So let's focus on the fun. Dionysus, the wine drinking. Good for them. Steve Jobs was known for his intense demeanor, master persuasion skills, and his unique diets. Did you know he had the most boring bachelor party in the history of mankind? According to firsthand accounts of the bachelor party, this is from Walter Isaacson's biography, Steve Jobs. This is the Jobs Encyclopedia. I listened to it on my way to work in 2015. I highly recommend it for all things Jobs. Back to the story. According to firsthand accounts of the bachelor party, the ragtag party of three left the first restaurant because Jobs hated the bread. We've all been there, right? You walk in the restaurant, your significant other just sits down, looks at the bread, storms off. No, that's never happened. It only happens to Jobs. You and your significant other eat all the bread. Then you order something, feel sick from eating all the food, then you barely touch your main course and walk out with a $120 bill. That's how those things normally go. Jobs and his crew eventually settled on sipping a tequila shot at the bar, which goes to show you how often they drank or how amazing the tequila was, given everyone else usually just shoots it. Even sipping the tequila shot was uncharacteristic of Jobs, as he was a non-drinker. A better idea would have been an LSD trip. Jobs was an LSD marijuana guy and made fun of Bill Gates for never trying LSD. Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, solver of vaccination problems in Africa. Such an unimaginative nerd. Jobs' abstention from alcohol has scientific backing. I know some of you aren't going to like this, but here we go. A study published in The Lancet, which 30-day book challenge, just Googled some stuff, DuckDuckGo'd some stuff. That's what I came up with. I'm sure The Lancet is very reputable. Go with me here, people. Study published in The Lancet found that any alcohol drinking led to negative health benefits. Even the potential benefits of moderate drinking were offset by other risks, such as increased cancer risk. This article find is fascinating on multiple levels. First, it was funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The same Bill Gates that Jobs said was unimaginative and should have tried LSD. Second, and this is a direct quote from the article, come to think of it, there is no safe level of living, but nobody would recommend abstention. Very interesting to see that quote with 2020 in mind. Back to the book. Even with the potential benefits being offset by increased cancer risk, takes us back to the main point. That's right. Any drinking can put your health at risk. Is that really a shock to anyone, especially those that have drank? Are you really floored by the fact that drinking puts your health at risk? I decided to cut back and pretty much quit drinking a few years ago. I haven't completely quit. I still will have some of my friends from time to time, if I ever see them again. I stumbled onto comedian Nikki Glaser on the Joe Rogan podcast, summer 2019. She talked about the fun nights, the horrible mornings, a lot of us can relate, and how she cracked the drinking puzzle by reading Alan Carr's The Easy Way to Stop Drinking. After hearing her explanation, it sounded easy. I checked out the book, and sure enough, it was easy. I still drink from time to time, but generally speaking, I'm over it. Global pandemic where I've not seen some of my best friends in close to a year probably makes this easier. In fact, for some of my good friends, the last time I saw them was last year on leap year when we did a bar crawl. Interesting timing on that one. Being sober has given me more time to focus on what matters. Writing comedy, hanging out with my family, and checking the price of Bitcoin every 5 seconds. And actually, it just went up. Go against the grain by using sobriety to improve your health and productivity. I've had a very long road to get to this point. I still enjoy a drink from time to time. My beautiful girlfriend and her father invites me over to have some wine. I do that. It's a total blast. But overall, I find that my productivity skyrockets when I'm sober. My creativity improves. I'm more social. And all the things that Alan Carr says in his book have come true for me. I highly encourage all of you to read That Easy Way. Alan Carr is an amazing story. I probably need to do a podcast just on him. He quit smoking at the age of 50 something, then decided to quit drinking. And the way he did it was very similar to what I do as a lawyer. You deconstruct what's going on and really dig into some of the root causes. Alan Carr looks into why people drink, and then he deconstructed all of that and showed why it's all false. Kind of said and throws it right in your face, like, hey, the reasons you do this thing, you don't need to. You're amazing as you are. And I truly believe that. I don't want to discourage anyone from having fun. I'm just telling you my story, all the successes I've had over the last couple of years, whether it be joining the Army. I'm now a prosecutor, which I've always wanted to do. I'm dating the most beautiful, fun, intelligent woman I've ever met. Shout out to her. She's truly amazing. And now I'm doing all this. It's a blast. Thank you for listening this far. That was the director's cut edition of chapter 1. If you listen to the full audiobook, which I highly recommend, of course, after buying a copy, it'll be a little different because I will read what's going on in the pages. But after that, I go off script. I'm an improv comedian, baby. That's kind of how I roll. The book comes out on February 24th, 2021. 10 scientifically proven ways that Steve Jobs went against the grain. A comedy book. That's right, folks. Not just any book. It's a comedy book. And I'm creating a new genre, and I have some amazing things in store for this. Thank you so much. And for a limited time, on to 24/21, both the ebook and paperback will be $2.24. Also, 10% of net proceeds go to the Barstool Fund to help small businesses. We all know that small businesses in our communities have been hit really hard by the pandemic, whether it be restaurants or others. We want to do our best to help them out. I'm not affiliated with Barstool. I just love what they're doing, and I think it's really important to help people right now during these tough times. So 10% of net proceeds will go to the Barstool Fund. Thank you so much for listening. This is Eric Bernston. Once again, chapter 1 is in the books. Another random chapter coming up later this week, and I will talk to you later.